I feel like most people didn't know about Santa Clara for the majority of their lives until the 49ers decided to build their new stadium in Santa Clara. So the San Francisco 49er football team now have their new stadium located in Santa Clara. And I drove by it every single day. In fact, it was funny, at night, there'd be a 24-hour project. So you'd still see tons of lights, and it looked like a giant spaceship had landed in the middle of the city because, again, it's relatively flat in this area, and there's not a whole lot of taller buildings except for the stadium, just this giant, massive football stadium in the middle of nowhere. But Santa Clara also has a lot of tech companies. Located around it, you got Pleasant or Mountain View right above Santa Clara. Other little towns, Sunnyvale, that have a lot of techie companies such as Google. You might have heard of Google before, or maybe Yahoo. I don't know if you've heard about that one. I think most people know Google. Apple's located in Cupertino. It's right next to Santa Clara as well. I got to take a tour of both Google and Apple with some members who work there. Google offers you free food, so I'd definitely go there again. Apple is actually building a new building right next to it. It's going to change up a lot. Transportation, again, you can get anywhere in the Bay Area with the transportation that's provided. There are buses that I'm pretty sure stop at every other street. There's the BART, the Bay Area Transit, all sorts of different ways of getting around, as well as bikes. They give you bikes as missionaries to ride around. Santa Clara also, the weather in California is generally pretty nice. It's usually never too cold, always about just right. But they do get some pretty crazy rainstorms every now and again. And I remember we were teaching a lesson in the building in Santa Clara to a couple of ladies, and it was just pouring outside. It was raining so hard. And we finished the lesson, and we kind of walked through the chapel just to kind of give them a quick little tour. And as we walked out of the doors on the other side of the chapel into the other foyer, there was this waterfall coming out of one of the light fixtures. It's just flooding. There's obviously been a leak in the building. And I just went, I was casual about it, and the ladies were looking at it. I'm like, yeah, we just added this new waterfall feature to the building. Go ahead and try not to get wet. And we walked them back to their cars, and for the next 3 hours, I was in a trio of companionships. For the next 3 hours, we just scrambled grabbing trash cans and trying to catch as much water as we could and trying to call somebody to come. Turns out there was the roof was getting redone, and they forgot to put a tarp over the top, and they forgot to check the weather. So that was quite the adventure, being able to try and save as much of the church from mold and mildew as we could. Santa Clara also had, again, talking about the 49ers, there was a couple members who played for the SaberCats, which is the San Jose arena football team, as well as the 49ers for professional football. And they were the nicest of people. Will Tukuafu, to name one of them, who now plays for the Seattle Seahawks. But he really brought a wonderful spirit to the ward and helped us recognize that, he's a person too. Even though he's this well-known football player, he's down to earth and such a great guy.